What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Kingdom Culture Podcast. Just want to welcome in my KCP family. We got a family member that came to rock out with us, man, and I'm super excited to finally have him here on the show, and you will see a lot more of his face. We got Mr. Patrick Hall right here. What's up, big bro? How
Man,
you feeling?
listen, bro. I'm excited to be here, man.
Yeah.
When you called me, I was like, oh, I don't really do this. Like, this ain't me. Like, I'm not gonna sit in front of a camera and talk. But
Yeah.
then when you told me what we were talking about, and I was like, listen, you were down my alley. Let's do this yesterday.
For sure,
But we started
100%.
today, so yeah.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like, and another thing, why we have you on this podcast and why we have you as family here is because he not only invests his time into you guys, but he want to invest into so many other things. And if you want to know those things, the link will be right here at the bottom of this video, how you can just be a part of his vision and the things that he's doing for the community and for the youth. And so just wanted to tag y'all into that. But let's go on and get to this information, man. Let's get to this tea. Let's get to it. So today we want to talk about decisions. Decisions.
Do I need to take my hat off?
Nah, you don't need to take your hat off, but we're here to talk
Same.
about some good decisions. Reason why we want to talk about decisions today, man, because every day you wake up, I don't care if you have $1 million in your bank account. I don't care if you have zero money or you in a negative in your bank account. When you wake up in the morning, you're always guaranteed two things, and that's a chance and a choice. So today, that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about life choices and the things that like led to your choices as well. So I actually want to kind of start with my first question, big dog. I kind of want to start with, what do you feel like some of the best, well, let me reword that. What is your best and worst spiritual decisions that you have made in your life?
Should I start with the bad?
Hey, the audience is here. You can do whatever you want.
We can start with the bad.
Let's do it.
My worst spiritual decision was actually having sex before marriage.
That's real. I like that one.
And I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
I don't
do
mean
your
to cut
thing.
you off, but
Do your thing.
most of my problems growing up were sexual problems. Most of my issues that started to arise in my life came from sexual issues, like being faithful. I feel like, listen, I struggle with pornography, so I felt like, listen, I can have any girl, every girl I want,
Yeah.
because I wanted one thing, and that one thing was sex. So
sure.
I feel like me stepping out of that umbrella and putting myself in the wilderness,
Yeah.
it allowed me to get hit in all directions, and I suffered from that, and I'm trying to get better. You know, not saying I'm perfect, but
For sure.
I'm getting better daily with that, and crucifying my flesh daily, as
For
as
sure.
they say.
100%.
So
That's
listen,
real.
I feel like sex was my problem, and I didn't want to admit it because I felt like, listen, man, we supposed to do it. It feel good, but
Yeah.
it's how we do it. It's when we do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, say, you 15 years old. You don't want those problems that come 9 months later after you do what you do.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
And I'm just being real.
That's
like,
real.
You 15, you're not ready for that.
You ain't ready for the smoke.
You want to go outside and play. And
For sure.
You can't take Junior outside with you because,
sure.
he got to cover up his little mittens and he going to get sick. So just being
That's
real. So
That's
yeah.
real. Nah, I think that's actually a good one to kind of like start the conversation off of, because me being a pastor here at Trinity Church, and that's something that you don't usually hear pastors say, but I've had sex before marriage as well. And I feel like spiritually that one of those things is when you do have sex before marriage, it don't stop there.
No.
It's not one of those things
No.
that stop there. It's like so many other things that attach itself to it. You have it change your perception on relationship.
Right.
You deal with hurt early that you didn't even know that you don't even supposed to be feeling yet because you're not in tune to your emotions. Like so many things that come from that. So I feel
My
like
thing was,
Go ahead.
it's not even just dealing with hurt. I was causing so much damage towards others.
other people, yeah,
I didn't realize I was damaging myself.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just like, listen, I don't care.
For sure.
It became me. I really became nonchalant when I started having sex. It's just like I only wanted one thing. I wanted to get that nut off.
For sure.
Excuse my French, but I wanted to get that nut off.
That's
like,
real.
listen, I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you want to be in a relationship with me. I will fake the funk until I get what I need, and then I gotta go.
Yeah.
And I was causing so much damage that I was hurting myself. At a point, I was at the point I couldn't even look myself in the mirror because it's like, man, your mama ain't even raised you like this, bro. Like, what you doing, bro?
100%.
Like, what are you doing out here?
Yeah.
Like,
And see, that's the thing too, like in the church, you know, like they kind of just tell us like, oh, don't have sex before marriage and don't do this and don't do that. And it's like, to the younger generation, it's like, well, what are your reasonings? Why?
break it down.
Break it down. Because when you don't break it down, you allow the world to break it down. And that's what happens to a lot of our generation is the world teach us about sex before we learn about it in the church. And like,
and I'm a rebel. So if you tell me I can't do something, I'm finna
about to go try it.
I'm finna go prove you wrong.
For sure, because people don't even understand. They understand the physical. The world teaches how to have physical, like the physical sex, but they don't understand the spiritual, the emotional and spiritual attachment that comes with it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I kind of want to kind of give that perspective of, is just the spiritual side. When you're connecting with someone sexually, because before I even go there, your kids know about sex. Yes, very young. Like, even at the age of 5, 4, they know about it. So these are conversations, like, just to my parents that will be watching in and tapping into us, is like, have that conversation with your kids before the world do. Because the world is going to give you a perverted version of that. You would rather your kids understand the spiritual side and the physical side. And a lot of parents don't want to have that uncomfortable that conversation. But when you show them the spiritual side of things, they'll understand that it's not just sex in the moment. No, you're having a soul tie connected to someone. You're back in the biblical times, when you have sex with someone, it's like marrying souls together. Right. You're married when you have sex.
A lot of people don't know that.
And they don't know that. And that's what comes with it when you like have the emotional ties to a relationship. And one thing I learned from Pastor Michael Todd, he said something like, actually, divorce and marriages is the worst marriage because you never have closure. Divorce is actually worse than death because when somebody dies, you have a funeral, you have closure. Right. But when you have a divorce, every time that person come back into the room, all those emotions, all those memories come right back up.
It open right back up.
It come right back up. So that's the power that on the spiritual side of things that we don't talk about with sex. We just like, I rock with her and our culture just say it's okay and we can do whatever we feel, but that's not true. Like, you feel that in a moment, but you deal with the damage months and years after that, and it can pervert your perception on relationship.
You hear me? Because I've been in some situations where I've had intercourse with a young lady, and I wouldn't talk to her for months or whatever, and then when I see her, we instantly connect like we've never missed a beat, and I'm like, wait a minute, and I never knew what that was. Yeah. I'm like, why do I feel like I'm still connected to you and I haven't spoken to you in 4 months?
That's real.
Why do I feel like I still know what's going on in your life? We don't follow each other on social media. We blocked. We blocked each other or whatever. Sure. And it's like, why do I still feel connected to you? Like, we ace boom coons, and I never got it. And I'm like, man, wait a minute. Because, a lot of people don't even teach that sex is emotional.
Yeah.
It's very emotional. Spiritual. Like, I'm going to be real with you. You don't ejaculate until you start to become emotionally into the performance.
That's true.
You can look off in the distance or whatever, and you won't come until you get emotionally invested
into it. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, wait a minute. And then you leave, and you wonder why she's still calling your phone because she's emotionally invested.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too. That's a very great point. And I don't want to just stay on this, but this is super important because our kids is going through it. Yeah,
but I like it.
Yeah, this is the conversation that you got to have, the real and the raw, because like I had. An OG once told me that sex is like 90% mental and it's 10% physical. And I never understood that. I never understood it until I made that decision of having sex before marriage.
You hear me? And you're more mentally drained than physically drained.
Than physically drained. Yeah. And keep it all the way real, you probably physically drained probably for 5 to 10 minutes.
You hear me?
And mentally drained for months and years after it happened. So like we're having this conversation and we're talking about, sex, but we're also talking about a decision that we made that we got to see the repercussions of it afterwards. So this is just our way of telling that the younger generation in our generation and even a generation above us that like it starts here. Because if we don't teach our kids how to do relationship or how to make certain decisions in relationship, it'll have a blurred vision of what family look like.